Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs podcast? Welcome to the Chiefs Blitz podcast, brought to you by ChiefsBlitz.com, your top source for Chiefs news. Our podcast is produced by Bowtie Sports and hosted by Nick Athan, Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, Hense Todd, and special contributor, Fox 4 sports reporter and anchor, Harold Kuntz. Please like and subscribe to our show. Now let's talk Kansas City Chiefs football.
All righty. Welcome to the next edition of Chiefs Blitz podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, with Mr. Lou Montagna.
Hey.
Coach Andre Tillman.
What's happening?
Todd, behind the wild desk, producing this show. Who knows what we'll talk about today because there's so much going on. There's so much speculation. We're definitely going to talk a little bit about Trent McDuffie and will he or won't he. Lou's got a great segment for us as well, plus the news of the day. There you go, guys. It's Wednesday. It kind of feels kind of weird today. I got this feeling that Chiefs can do something big this week. I think it's coming. I don't know what the major news is going to be, but I just have I've talked to several people today to kind of gauge their what the F is going on kind of situation with the Chiefs.
So they're going to cut somebody?
I don't know if it's going to be a cut or a trade, or there's going to be a big wild rumor.
Wow.
That it's actually substantiated beyond some of the nonsense 15 minutes of fame posts we've seen from a few people here over the last few days.
I'm telling you, it's lying season.
It is lying season.
I say it every year. You just got to be careful with some of this stuff that people are putting out there. Now, I like Brett's availability yesterday, where he kind of confirmed a lot of the things we've been saying.
Let's go ahead and let's hear what Brett had to say yesterday.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Then you can make your comment, Lou. All right, let's roll.
Arguably some of the best players in this draft are maybe at non-premium positions. When you look at the Ohio State linebacker, the Notre Dame running back, the safety at Ohio State. So those are really, really good players. It's hard to find faults with their tape. Really solid. But again, some of those more premium positions, interior D-line, edge rushers, they're hard to find. And with those guys, the problem with those guys is they're hard to find, and then they don't really become available in free agency. Some of those other positions, they're good players. You'll probably eventually get a chance to get some of those positions in free agency. So that's kind of the things you just have to weigh, kind of go through and weigh out all the options. But at the end of the day, I think you just want a guy that's going to come in here and be a great contributor on the field, off the field, and stick to that old mantra: take the best player available, right?
So what you think he said about that, Lou? What's your
Well, I think he's confirming a lot of what we've been saying, is that there is certain, positional value that you have to take into consideration. I think when he was saying is, some of those guys at linebacker, running back, safety, those guys might hit free agency. Whereas if a team hits on an O-line, D-line, typically they don't hit free agency. So that's kind of what he's weighing. But again, he's kind of basically telling you we can go any direction, right? I mean, yes, this is positional value, but he almost named 3 players there: Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Caleb Down, whatever. But then he also said, probably going to go with best player available.
Yeah. So basically, he
said a lot. He said a lot of words, but at the end of the day,
basically he said was, "Hey, if Love is there, I'm taking him."
Yeah, I guess that's my point, is that you hear what you want to hear. So that's what you took from it, and I'm sure, that could certainly be the case.
Yeah, that's what I took. What about you, Coach? What'd you take from it? I know
a lot of y'all up and down with Veach. Some people think Veach can't pick guys. They think Veach not the best when picking stars out the draft. Like, to me, when I heard it, I'm like, okay, what are you saying, Veach? Like, what are you really saying to us, man? What are you trying to? What is it that you want? You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't really address nothing. For real, right. a bunch of hoo-wash, a bunch of BS.
Right. That's
You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's the point that I was making, is that
Right.
typically these press availability,
it's a
they
bunch
will
of just
they will like answer the question without really answering it. They will tell you certain things, but not really say a whole lot. You're not going to get why would you play if you're playing poker? You're not going to tell everybody, well, this is what I'm looking to do in this hand.
But what's the purpose of even asking y'all questions and shit? If you getting us the runaround.
It's required. It helps the league, maintain their popularity.
It's like the hell with asking them shit, because y'all gonna give us the same runaround, the same BS. There ain't no point even asking y'all nothing.
Right. Well, that's why shows like us exist. So
to break down the BS.
Maybe change your tune a little bit.
Yeah, just say we're going to attack the line. We're going to attack the line going into this draft. That's what we want to know. Stop playing with us now.
The best
what we need.
Some of the best players in this draft are at non-premium positions. You can't go wrong with O-line, D-line. We're going to take the best player available. So, there's a lot there. And part of that is going to be true. And then the rest was just kind of window dressing.
So what do you think about it, Nick? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think, it was a lot of lip speak and, like Lou said, it's the Lion season, but I think there's just some nuggets out there that I think the Chiefs can hold on to with Brett. I think Brett, he's navigating this without Andy because Andy's not there. He's the center of attention right now. I think he's had plenty of time with the fact that Chiefs didn't make the playoffs to come up with a plan. And what I gauged out of it yesterday was they're looking at making sure that whomever they take at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, where 6 or 7 or where they end up, they're going to get a premium guy. And I think his job right now is to make sure he gets a premium guys in the first 3 rounds that can come in and start. So for me, I know how you feel about Jeremiah Love, and I know how badly you want him to be a Chief, but I think they have bigger needs that maybe they can get a good running back in round 2 or 3. Now,
I like to say this to add on to that. I think the Chiefs are starting late. They should have filled this hole last year where we thought they would. They waited until the 7th round, and also, now you stuck in a hole. You don't have that much money in salary cap. Then are you going to pay a veteran at running back? Because everybody know the glaring need on this team is a running back. Everybody in the world knows. Even Ray Charles can see that. Even though he can't see, he can see that they need a running back. You know what I mean? So I know, Ray Charles, all of them can see. But all I'm seeing is
Stevie Wonder's still alive. You can use
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. He
can see. Talk to Shaq. He doesn't think he's blind, but that's another story.
What I'm trying to say is this: the Chiefs waited so long playing this 7th round running back crap, trying to get running backs, and now you found yourself in a glaring hole. Now you need a running back. Now you're gonna have to play. If you play Jeremiah Love, you pick him at number 9. He's still gonna be playing like a Lou said, a veteran running back. Or you go pay a veteran running back that coming off injuries, 8 ETN. You don't know what you're gonna get from there. You don't know. Walker gonna want a big money. He's not gonna just sign for a veteran deal. You know what I mean? So the answer is always there. You know what I mean? You put yourself in this hole. Now you got to fill that hole.
All right, so we're gonna go slap people around for mistakes they made a year ago. I hear you, but we have to move forward. And here are the cards that are dealt. The thing you have to look at a player like Jeremiah Love, and I think I said this before, maybe a week ago, whatever. But typically, when you're looking at some of these guys, like a Jahmyr Gibbs, like a Bijan Robinson, like Jonathan Taylor, so you have to view them outside of just the normal running back. If you believe that Jeremiah Love is in that class and he is the offensive weapon that you believe that he can be, and be like, I don't know, 30-40% of your offense if you need him to be, then that I think makes
offensive line is already addressed, Sam.
That makes it worth it, right? But then the other nugget that he dropped that actually is factual is when he said that we've built this roster this way and we've built contracts a certain way. We've got $60 million that's convertible.
Right.
So let's get into it.
What he's telling you is that if there's a free agent out there that we really want and that we feel we can get at our price, we've got the ability to do that. So
yeah. All right. Let's hear what else he had to say.
Let's go, Brad.
Let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of dialogue with Trent last spring, last summer, and he's first out of the gate, I think, tomorrow. So looking forward to get with him, and obviously Trent's a great player and see what we can do there, but certainly love to have Trent back and for the long term. Yeah, I mean,
and then there it is. So
Trent,
news has been broke yesterday that they probably going to get a deal done with Brett Veach.
No, they're not.
Football folks talk. You know what I mean? Hey, Nick, I know what you hear. I know why Nick said no, you're not, because we heard the same stuff with Snead, right? The same round, the same time that we gonna be meet with Trent team tomorrow. The next thing you know, we hear Snead is on the trading block. So I'm hoping, do they open up the bag and give him a long-term deal? You know what I mean? Is they gonna play him an outside corner, play him at a slot corner, and pay him at that amount of money? But also, you do that, he's going to be looking at least the kid from Texas. His name slipped my mind. He's going to be looking for his type of market money. And also, do you do that and lock your team in there, knowing that you only have 6 picks in this year's draft?
I think there's only 2 ways in which they get this deal done with Trent. One, they have to be convinced this is Chris Jones's last year because his cap number is going to keep going up. And I don't think Chris Jones is going to restructure his contract, because I got a feeling he's going to retire with Travis Kelce. They're going to go out together after this year. And I think if there's going to be an exception made, now there were a lot of reasons not to sign L'Jarius Sneed. The injury concerns were real, and clearly that carried over when he went to Tennessee. The knee was not sound. It wasn't sound his whole first season. His second season, he was injured, though he did come back at the end of last year and play some meaningful downs. So for me, does Brett Veach go outside his normal comfort zone and sacrifice paying McDuffie, letting Watson walk, which I think would be, I just don't want Watson to go anywhere. I think he needs to be a Chief, but he's never shown the ability to do it. Trent may be the exception, but his agent, who's, has the same, also did the Trey Smith contract, and look at Trey Smith's number. You got one of the highest contracts in NFL history for a guard, and McDuffie's going to want the same thing. So do you pay him $115 million, even though it's bloated in the final year of the deal? And where else do you sacrifice? Hold on. Let me finish, then you can chime in again. If they have $60 million in convertible dollars available, I think that means they're going to spend some money in free agency. But I love McDuffie, but he doesn't solve the 2 glaring issues for this franchise. Pass rusher, you need 2 pass rushers. You got to have a home run running back. Before I would pay $110 million to McDuffie, I better know in hand, in my pocketbook, that in the meetings that we meet with the agents and we kind of go, hey, what if this or what if that he felt comfortable, like with a Breece Hall, if he doesn't get tagged by the Jets, if that's a bunch of smoke, will he accept certain parameters to come to Kansas City? Now, they already talked about a contract extension during the trades that never materialized. The question is, where's Veach going to spend that $60 million in convertible dollars? That remains to be seen. But he better have, out of the next 2 months, 2 more pass rushers and a game-breaking running back. Without that, McDuffie's not going to matter if he's signed or not, I think.
What you think, Lou?
Well, again, like the $60 million, I don't think when he said that, I think it's not like we're going to convert all of that and we're going to use all
it's just
of that,
available,
right?
Yes.
So I don't think they're going to go free agency. There's not a ton of edge rushers that are available. You guys kind of mentioned Jalen Phillips, I think, before the show. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. He's kind of middling in my mind. He might be better than anybody that the Chiefs have, but I don't think you want to overpay for him. So it really depends on how they do this. And I think a lot of that is going to be dependent upon, in terms of, I think the edge rushers, you're going to have to look to the draft. Running back, there are some free agents available. If none of them kind of fit in the budget, if you would, for that, then maybe they will lean more running back in the draft as well. So
Right.
you've got some high picks. I mean, you got 3 picks within the first 74, 9, 40, and 74. So you're going to get some players that should be able to step right in and play significant downs. And
Are they home
one of
running
them can be a running back. Now, it may not be Jeremiah Love, but you could find somebody like in the second round, like a Jadarian Price or Nick Singleton, or even in the third round, some of those guys will fall because of how many edge rushers there are available. This wide receiver group is really underrated. Now, again, there's no superstar, but there's a lot of guys. There could be 12 or 13 in the first 2 rounds. And I think all of those have the ability to make an impact on their team. So he's got some moves. He's got some money if they need it. So I think you just got to let him do his thing.
Let him cook.
What you think, Coach?
And damn all that. Chris Jones getting old as dirt. He's old as shit. With time to address the defensive line, you keep Trent McDuffie, you keep him out there because Chris Jones hasn't been the same guy. So we have to go ahead and address the defensive line right now through the draft. Simple as that, because McDuffie is young and he has ups and downs, more ups than downs, honestly, because he's still a premier corner. You keep Trent McDuffie and you get rid of Chris Jones. Let Chris Jones go out the sunset, like Nick stated. And if him and Travis Casey want to go ahead and hold hands to the sunlight, go right ahead. Right? Because you haven't been shit in the last couple years, bro. You haven't really been as productive. So you address the defensive line going to the draft and you keep Trent McDuffie.
Hey, I agree with Coach. I agree with Coach. You know me. Hey, but I can say you can get a pass rusher in the second round. You're picking 40.
I think they're better off getting a wide receiver in the second round. Get a wide receiver in round 2.
But let's hear what he said about I think it was the offensive line or running backs or one of the two, I think. But
some type of football player, I think he'll be talking about. So,
and we've invested in that interior, and with Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, 2 of the best in the league, and we thought Kingsley made a big step. I mean, those are 3 talented interior players. So I think, and we've talked about it, and Coach has done an amazing job with his staff cranking on that scheme eval. But I think being more explosive in the running game and really taking advantage of those interior 3 to kind of impose your will on an opposing team's defense. But the running game takes a lot of pressure off everybody. So I think if we can be more explosive and more effective in the running game, I think obviously we take a lot of pressure off Pat, especially coming back early in the season with the injury.
I've been saying it for the longest. That's why I've been looking for Jeremiah Love. And I see what he's saying. Hey, we got the big 3 in the middle. Patrick Mahomes, everybody, Chiefs fan, is glaring that Patrick Mahomes don't have this injury for somehow since he's been seen at birthday parties without a boot, a Wayne head boot, or a Chris Jones Stone Cold Sterner leg ankle knee thing on his leg. We all understand that. But in real life, guys, real life Chiefs fans, I'm gonna get close to this camera. Real life Chiefs fans, you have a quarterback. Man. You have a quarterback that's coming off an injury.
That's like 3D.
The running back game is getting very serious out here, and we are late. We are late bloomers to the game.
Hold on. You know what?
We are late bloomers to the game. So let the grown man talk. Look, Nick.
Stop playing.
I'm just saying.
It's very disconcerting.
You Chiefs fans out there, just hear me out. I love you guys. We all Chiefs fans. But, hey, you heard what Brett Veach said. The big 3 up front, we are late in the balloon game of this running back game. And, hey, they got to fix it. They need a guy out there.
Here's your silver lining.
You
said the Chiefs are late. And the only reason they're in this position now to get a Love is because they had a crappy season a year ago. Because they spent their capital on fixing the offensive line. That's where they spent the money. This year, it's going to fix the defensive line and running back, and that's what they're going to do. I hope they get Love, because God knows I don't want to hear this for the next 6 years. That you're talking about they should have drafted Love at number 9. If Love is there at 9, I'm telling you right now, if Jeremiah Love is there at 9, call me shocked. I don't think he's getting past. I don't think he's getting past
the Saints.
I think there's a good possibility that the Cardinals make a run for him. There's a couple other teams that could use a guy like this. Unless there is,
but I don't know that bad teams can afford a luxury pick. That's the
but they may look at it like
I think that's the thing that the Chiefs have going for them is that they obviously have had the success that they've had. Most of their team is still intact. They're still very good. They lost a bunch of one-score games that they won the year before, right. So it's not like they've fallen off completely. So with a couple of tweaks, at different positions, I think they'll be right back to where they need to be. But yeah, I mean, when you take that running back, I mean, imagine, Arizona, you could talk to coach. They've got some glaring needs all over the place. It would be great to have this, shiny gem of an object for their backfield, but they got a lot of other problems that they probably need to fix at that pick. The Browns drafted 2 running backs last year. Maybe Tennessee, but they've got a lot. They need some weapons for that young quarterback. Now, again, running back could be that one. I don't know if Borgonzi is kind of that mind to take a running back at that point. So again, the Chiefs are uniquely positioned. The only one I think that I really worry about is New Orleans, but even them, it's not like they're this great team and we'll plug in this running back and all of a sudden here we go. So
they're using it as a building block.
So we'll see. It really will be interesting, but I think the bottom line is they're gonna get a player there that's going to make an impact. It just, we don't know whether it's going to be on the offensive side or the defensive side. Best guy that can make the biggest impact on this team. Just take that guy.
Oh, what did you think they was getting their coach?
At 9 again.
I'm talking about where Brett Veach said at the press conference about getting a more explosive at running back.
Man, again, y'all know I'm not really concerned about the explosiveness for any running back. I really ain't, because I believe in EB. And I believe he can take what we got now and build off of that. I like Price from Notre Dame. I really do. I think Price is a better running back than Love. I really do. He got a bigger upside. I feel like mute his mic. He don't need to talk no more.
Timeout, sir. Timeout. Put him in timeout. He's done.
BS. I know you playing. I know you
playing. The end of the first round.
I know you.
Timeout. He's in timeout for the rest of the show. He said some nonsense like that.
Yeah, you're drunk with power, man. You're drunk.
Listen though, we go listen though. If y'all really look at the draft, man, it's some good running backs coming out this draft. It's some great running backs that fit the system.
There's a big difference between Jeremiah and then the next guy.
It's a difference between the coaches. We got EB as a running back coach, one of the greatest to do it. I'm not worrying about no Jeremiah Love. I know what we got as the coach. He can coach these guys up. I'm not worrying about that. What I'm worrying about, the biggest problem, the biggest need is getting that interior defensive line together. When it comes to the running back situation, we can go get that in the second round.
Right.
I'm not really
I
worried
don't know
that.
if there's really an interior guy that they would rate in the top 9 players, right? Yeah, I think honestly, if it's not Love, one of the edge guys drops to them, or potentially one of the receivers if they really fall in love, or if Tate for some reason drops down to 9, I think they would be ecstatic, right? But again, it's, we don't know. A lot has to happen even before the draft. And I just like the fact that Brett got up there and acknowledged a few things, and so we go. Right. But still, the bottom line is he's not going to show or tip his hand. That would be stupid. So he's going to put enough out there to just kind of keep it real murky for the other GMs, especially the ones in front of him, to say whatever. We don't care what he's thinking. We're gonna take our guys, and that's it. There was an interesting interview I saw with Borgonzi, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but obviously they were talking to him about Cam Ward and everything else. And he goes, yeah, a couple of years ago, I don't know how many text chains Veach is on, but he obviously was on one of them with him when they were still in the same building. And he like woke up one day, he's like, there's 45 texts. And they were mostly from Brett, all talking about this kid up at Washington State slinging the ball around. So obviously that was Cam Ward. So,
that was, yeah.
So Brett was pretty always got his eyes open, even though he's got Patrick Mahomes looking for stuff like that. But no, Borgonzi, they got a defensive coach. This doesn't mean they're gonna go defense, but I would be shocked if they didn't take one of those edge rushers to go along with Jeffrey Simmons, because
really makes a lot of sense for them.
It just you just gotta start because Chris Jones is getting old, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting old.
Well, you've made that abundantly clear, Coach. We know that.
He's getting old as dirt. All right.
Well, so and Lou put something. I didn't get to it because I'm in the process of doing a lot over here at this house, but. Lou put something there about Caleb Banks, man, and Caleb Banks said, hey, he will run through a brick wall. He's that type of dog that he will run through a brick wall for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just saying that, just to be drafted, but I know that I know what I like. I know what Banks did, in college. I think that, like I said before, if Love not there, or one of those wide receivers or edge, I won't be mad at 9 if they take Banks to be the replacement.
With Caleb, I think you have to be comfortable with the fact that he's gonna play 100% all the time, because that's been the big question on him. Is he again? I mean, even at the Senior Bowl, when he got like upset, all of a sudden you see this animal, but then he go back to just kind of maybe taking a play off here. Then it happened at Florida too. The word was he was ready to shut it down for the entire season. And then whether it was somebody in his camp or somebody in his family saw that his stock might be dropping a little bit, he went out and played 3 games.
Well, that's a big issue.
And then he shut it down again. So there's a lot that he has to prove.
What's up, Kareem?
We'll see tomorrow, what he weighs in at, all those things that they look at. And then those meetings.
What he need then is me out there with the slap.
Exactly. Yeah.
A slap against the face.
That's where EB comes in. That's where EB comes in.
You have an incredible knack of wandering into these spaces where these guys hang out. Reach out to them. Say, dude. I mean, you can't.
Like yesterday, I started in a room when I was in the midst of a conversation, eating my croissant in the back of the room. No one knows that I was there.
He's like the invisible man.
But I'm hearing.
I don't know how that's possible.
I'm hearing Phillips is probably on his way to the Chiefs. I'm just saying.
Well, he can sign right now if he wants.
I'm just saying. He gonna be a probably the first.
Now we're talking about Jalen Phillips.
Jalen Phillips, he plays the outside, so he's an outside guy.
No, he can't sign until free agency.
No, he can't. He's already been cut.
So what I'm getting at, guys, he's an outside guy. What I'm getting at is this, guys. Like going back to Banks. Now the thing with Banks,
so did he have time on his deal?
No, he was officially cut before the league year. So he is eligible to sign with anybody right now.
Yeah, usually they don't do that unless there's.
They did that with all 3 of the guys, with Tyreek Hill, with him, and the other guy.
He got traded. He got traded. I thought he got traded to Philly.
Okay, slow down. I think we're mixing people up. Bradley Chubb got cut by Miami, right?
I'm sorry.
Jalen Phillips plays for the Eagles, and he is set to be a free agent.
I'm getting my.
So once the league year starts, and obviously he's like every other free agent. And who knows? Maybe Howie tries to re-sign him. So, but no, I mean that would certainly, like I said before, that would certainly be an upgrade for the Chiefs. I don't know if he's like a premier guy that you're going to overpay for. And no matter what you pay in free agency, more than likely you are overpaying just because that's the way it works.
Right. So going back to Banks again, the character issue. Y'all know I'm a character guy. I like good character, and so when I'm hearing you got to slap this man around, you got to put a foot in his ass, all this other shit for him to get busy. That's kind of shaky for me. That's kind of shaky, man. That's kind of shaky. I don't know.
Maybe playing to that next to that old ass Chris Jones, that'll get him motivated. Coach.
I don't think he's gonna have a problem playing next.
Hey, you know, you see the Dave Chappelle. He said, "Slap." That's what you're gonna do is slap him just like that.
Y'all remember? Wait.
As a disclaimer, we are not advocating violence.
Hey, listen. Y'all remember Henderson? Remember Henderson from Jacksonville? Remember his ritual just get slapped. So maybe it's Banks. Maybe he need to get slapped. Yeah,
one of the trainers. I mean, and it wasn't just like a smack. I mean, it was like haul off and hit him.
I'm talking about my man was tasting blood. I said, but going back to Banks. If it takes all that for that man to produce, honestly, to be my opinion, guys, I don't want him.
Right. Yeah, like that was the amazing thing at the Senior Bowl. It seemed like, I don't know, something happened. I don't know if he got held on a play or whatever, but he was visibly upset, and then he just took over.
Right.
But then he'd like fade away on some reps and so forth. So I don't know enough about him and his background. We'll see. I mean, I would imagine they do their due diligence. The scouts are out there. They're talking to the guys in the weight room. They're talking to the managers.
Yeah, well, the Eagles franchise was a dumpster at the end of the season anyway.
But it's one guy that's still on the team, and I know a lot of Chiefs fans are up on with him. But as I was watching the All-22 film, maybe they got a pass rusher in Felix. You know what I mean? Look, he got hurt.
Stop.
Look at the guy get off the ball, man. Like I know we
give us some context, man. Is this is against Detroit?
Yeah, he got pushed into the guy. The offensive lineman pushed him right into the quarterback.
Look at this. You can't.
They probably got it. Jets. This is 2 years ago, right? Because he was able to play.
Now watch. He gets pushed in. Watch.
How? He didn't get pushed in. It's called chase down, Nick. You put them glasses on, sir.
Well,
but other than that, man,
hey, Hense, why are you showing this? This preseason.
He is under contract, and we can talk about him. So there.
Man,
that's all I'm saying. Like it's a guy that's out there.
We don't have to be digging into salary cap dollars to go. My
man dug into the vote. He went all the way deep into the vote.
Well, he didn't play last year, Coach. So
right. So I'm like,
I'm just saying, like they still got guys.
Dust off that 23 or 24 tape.
He sure did.
What I'm saying, they got guys out there that actually probably can still be on the roster already. That they probably got. They probably look at it that way. But let's get right into Lou's red dot guy. Who you have for us today?
All right, gang. That's right. Here we go. Wednesday. This is the replacement for Chief Who. It is draft season. So every week at this time, I will bring you my red dot guy. And this typically isn't going to be like a first rounder, sometimes like second, third, maybe even later in the draft, but just the guy that you put the red dot on and say, this is a football player. We'll do what we need to do to get this guy. And this week it is none other than Zakee Wheatley. He is a safety from Penn State. He'll measure in somewhere between 6'2" and 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got really good size. Formerly a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. He did not transfer, was at Penn State the whole time.
Good for him. Was
MVP, defensive MVP of the 2024 Fiesta Bowl. That was a game against Boise State when they played against Ashton Genty's team. And he was just phenomenal during that whole playoff run. Looks like he's projected to run like in the 4.4s. So the kid certainly has some speed. I'm normally not one. I'm going to get caught up in a lot of stats, but this one kind of spoke to me where he had the fewest yards allowed per coverage snap in the Big Ten. Now, again, he plays safety, so maybe limited, but Caleb Downs played safety in the Big Ten as well. So he did lead. But
Lou, that's an important stat. Lou, what are you talking about? You don't like stat? That's very important.
So some of the positives, like I said, outstanding speed, flies to the ball. I mean, he's got all sorts of natural instincts in zone reading quarterbacks. So it kind of tells you that he's really into film study, great in man coverage as well. So that's what always leads me to this would be like somebody in Spags' defense that maybe the guy that they wanted Shamari Connor to be, 6'2", right? But maybe a little bit better athlete. Does bring the wood versus the run, grades out exceptionally well.
No, he brings the girth, Lou.
Well, I don't know about that, but it certainly does bring
girth.
the wood.
He's bringing
wood and girth. Yes.
He brings
Matthew size of player.
And with that in mind,
man,
has great ball production, jumps
go.
off the tape, great hands. He got 5 picks in his career. Versatility, like I said, can play free safety, strong safety, can play in the slot. So that's what I'm saying. He would be a fixture in a Spags defense. Now, some of the things he certainly has to work on a little bit. The tackling technique sometimes can get a little sloppy. Not as far as missed tackles, but not really wrapping up. A lot of time, it's a lot of shoulder or just trying to strike the guy. Occasionally takes poor angles in pursuit. Press versus bigger wide receivers obviously has to improve, but he does have size and rarely does get matched up against wide receivers. But if he is going to play in that Spags role, that's something he's going to have to improve on. Yeah. And then also can get caught sometimes peeking in the backfield at the quarterback and late to trigger. And again, these are nitpicks because I think the kid's got a lot of juice, a lot of ability, and just the size, speed. I mean, everything is there for him to potentially be a day 2 guy. So
you're thinking fourth round?
Ziki, day 2. So probably second
man.
or third round.
I think he go in the 3rd round, man. And looking at I've been watching the kid as well, man. 6'3". I think that's where he's gonna be measured out.
We'll see. I mean, it's somewhere 6'2", 6'3". I mean, you never know with these listed heights and weights. So when they go through the combine, then you'll
cleats on Luke with the cleats.
Absolutely. Well, they don't let him wear the cleats at the combine to get measured. So there you go.
So me doing my listen to Lou and listen to Lou say he don't like stats. He more like measurables in a sense. He can't press for real. His tackling technique is a little off. He can't play a little man to man. He runs a 4.4, right? A man 6'2".
That's the projected. Yeah.
Here's the thing though with Spags. Spags is like a guy that can tackle. He can get in there, right? Can't press real, so no, he's probably gonna get beat off the jam because he's not good and get into the receivers' faces. To me,
you're assuming a lot of facts, not in evidence.
I'm assuming what you say though, Lou. I go about what you say, man. I'm going about what Lou you said. This your red dot guy, so I'm just doing some evaluation. Absolutely. He's definitely a 3rd or 4th round guy to me. I feel like.
I don't know.
If any team was to look at him for real, looking at what he could
potentially be the 4th safety off the board. Caleb Downs, Thieneman from Oregon, the kid from Toledo,
my guy from Toledo,
hyphenated name McNeil Warner, something like
right.
that, I believe.
But it depends what he's doing the combine, right?
I think. Not necessarily. I think he's put plenty on tape. He's playing in the Big Ten. All that is fine. So as long as he runs fine, if he does run in the 4.4s and he measures out at 6'2" or 6'3" and he weighs in at over 200 pounds, all the other stuff that he's done, I think puts him solidly in that running for the 4th safety. And you may see those 3 guys that I mentioned in the 1st round, which would be a huge upset.
I know my guy.
But all of a sudden,
definitely
if those 3 guys go in the 1st round, Zaki automatically will get pushed up into the 2nd, I believe.
Yeah, man. But I mean, he is a complimentary guy.
Why you don't believe in the things Lou was saying, sir? You said
I don't, because from the stat, he can't play. He's a good man-to-man guy, but he can't press, right? He can't tackle. Beast like slack guys that can tackle.
Can't press.
You just said he can't. We say he's not a good presser.
I said he's great. He's great in man coverage.
You say great in man coverage, but you said when you get up in receivers' faces.
One of the things he has to improve on is against bigger receivers. Now, the snaps against bigger receivers aren't that great because he's a safety. He really doesn't get a lot of opportunity unless it's in zone to pick those guys up. So again, it's something he has to improve on.
Let me highlight something real quick, Lou. That Veach, but Spags love in his DBs is tackling. The tackling technique. You say he's not a good tackler, right? You say he's not a good tackler. He's
you hear what you want to hear.
Popper. Wait.
You
say he's a popper. You say he's a thumper. You say he doesn't have great technique. He doesn't rap, but he will lean with his shoulder instead of making.
Okay, I'll just repeat it. Tackling technique does get sloppy at times. I didn't say he's a bad tackler. I'm saying that maybe the form tackling isn't 100%.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But no, it's not. You said
it is what I'm saying.
All of a sudden, you decided he can't do that.
All right, let me put it in Coach Dre's term. His form sucks. My man can't press big receivers. He's a dud. I would never get this guy.
Why is the mic
going
still on?
undrafted?
What are we doing?
He's not good. I mean, y'all be buttercupping these guys.
Okay, hold on.
Y'all buttercupping these guys, man.
You may not like him.
Fourth round.
You may not like him, and that's fine.
So he heard my breakdown,
and he just took
30 seconds ago and decided the guy sucks.
He can't deal with big receivers.
So
right?
from now on, when you hear any of this bullshit about these in the trenches guys, forget it.
Give me hell.
Absolutely
Lou, give your boy hell. Give your boy hell. I'm with all the smoke. I'm with all the smoke.
No, I'm saying. Okay, if you saw something that you disagreed with, but I think taking my words and twisting them and then making a decision based on that might be a little erroneous.
You said his technique was off. You said my man ain't really good with the press.
This is what you said. These are the things he has to improve
You said he got 5 interceptions, right? You said he can't play man-to-man fairly well, right? I got all of that. He runs a 4.4. He's a 6'2", 6'3" guy. I pay attention, Lou, but for me, how I look at it is you're not going first and second round with me. If I'm doing the draft, you're not. You're going third and fourth round.
First or second round.
I'm just saying for me.
Let me ask you, Coach.
Come on with it.
How many games have you watched him play?
None.
I haven't watched none. I go off what you said.
So what you gonna say?
But listen. I'm going off what he stated off his sheet. What he's saying about.
But you're taking what I said and just. I'm still parsing little pieces out of it and saying that he can't do this.
That's what
Listen to what I'm saying. Like every other player, that if you're actually doing a good evaluation, you're going to point out
he's not a good tackler, Lou. That's what you said. You said his technique was off.
We need some
we need to stop. This is
I'm just saying. Lou, your take is mad. Lou. This is your red.
All right. I'm gonna change the
ask
subject.
the people in the chat. And does anybody want to keep hearing any of this crap?
No,
seriously.
No, I'm taking back control. I better be quiet. All right, here we go. Blake blames.
And then now Nick wants to take back control.
One of the oldest supporters of yours truly here back in the Warpaint Illustrated days. Warpaint Illustrated.
Blake, let's go, Blake.
Blake's one of the best. Had been one of the most loyal people that's ever. Viewed, watched, read. He was a subscriber to the magazine. So here's his question. If the Jets put the transition tag on Breece Hall, the dream of him being a Chief isn't dead because we could owe them nothing if signed to an offer sheet and they don't match. The offer sheet, I think, has to be if they make him a transition player, then it's possible. I don't think there's any question that Breece Hall is the #1 target for the Chiefs in free agency if he's available. However, the Jets, he and his agent, she is terrific. They pleaded to be it for a trade to Kansas City. If that had happened, they probably get a couple more wins, and they're not at 9th. They're probably at 14 or 15. I think the Jets have an idea what they're going to do, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't think the Chiefs and the Jets can make a deal. I think they're just going to have to do the right thing. He does not want to play for New York. He does not want to be there. He wants to be a Chief. Remains to be seen, but I think it's going to be difficult unless the Jets change their tune.
So if you're the Jets and you know that, Nick,
yep,
wouldn't you try to get something for him?
Well, sure. No, I don't blame the Jets for doing what they were doing. The problem that I have for
he's trapped. I mean,
for Breece Hall is that
that's the thing in the CBA that the player has no control over now. Yes, he wants to leave. Yes, but they have this tool that was collectively bargained that says, hey, we can put this tag on you and you either play for us or you sit out.
Here's why I have a problem with teams that do this kind of stuff. Number one is the agent went to the Jets and said, and they gave him permission to explore trade options. They talked to Kansas City. They did talk contract numbers. And then even though they kind of knew what the parameters might be, they let it happen. They promised they would do the right thing by the kid. And now, they feel betrayed. And you're right. He has no power in this situation. All he can do is not sign his – if he's tagged, he doesn't have to sign it. Now, is he going to lose $13 million? I doubt it. But, again, I think where these NFL teams make such a huge mistake, especially teams that suck like the Jets and who are going to suck for years to come, is when you have a player who has been vocal and adamant behind the scenes, I do not want to play here. Why not just get what you can, move on, use the compensation to maybe bring in some players that want to play for the New York Jets?
He's a Jet for life.
He's not played injured. He's
Could
played
be.
hurt. He's done everything the franchise has asked him to do. And he's also
He
played for
used
some
the Chiefs
terrible
as a
coaches.
pony.
What?
I said he used the Chiefs as a pony.
Right.
With
Right.
the
I mean, that's
Browns.
part of it.
That's
That's
what he
part-
said.
Situation, you're just flat out wrong.
I'm
part of
just
the
saying
facts.
he
That's part of
did
it.
I know these
that.
facts to be true.
There's a
I
lot
know
of
these
there's
facts
a lot
to be
of
true.
there's a lot of negotiating going on. I mean, you saw Myles Garrett that absolutely
Yeah.
was done, wrote a letter in the paper
A
to the
pony.
Cleveland fans. I'm out of here. I never want to play here again. And all of a sudden they offer him this market smashing deal. And okay, sure.
I don't think
so
the Jets will give him that.
so
I don't
what-
think.
probably not. This is going to be ugly because it is the Jets. It does send like a horrible message to
Sure it
other
does.
free agents that might think twice about wanting to play there. But
I mean, they traded a couple of
it's a
other
tough deal.
malcontents that didn't want to be there, and they promised
Sure.
Breece Hall that they would do the same thing, and they reneged. So if I'm him, there's no way I'm signing a long-term deal with him unless it is just stupid sick money, which I can't.
They
see.
know they got it. They know next year's running back class is probably ain't gonna be that good. And they know they looking at this running back class like, okay, do we take the Jeremiah Love at what number 2? They number 3, wherever they sitting at, or we sign our guy that everybody's
They
covering.
could take Love at 3.
and then they look. Then they at 2.
Sorry.
Then they got a Hall, in the backfield. They like, okay, he's our quarterback and running back sometimes, because he does throw touchdowns as well. do we keep our guy in the building? And I think Hall used this last free deadline trade line, and he used the Chiefs knowing they needed a running back and said, hey,
That's not the case.
let me throw my name out there. Hey, Lou said the agents does that. We know agents does that. If I'm an agent, I'm doing that. I'm gonna
Right. I mean, they're doing the best.
trying to
They're
give
doing
you
the
the
best.
facts. I'm
Right,
trying
they're
to
doing-
give you the facts as
they're-
I have heard them and I know
you,
them. And you're doing the same thing the coach did with Lou.
Well,
You're
No,
the
I'm not doing the same thing.
Yes, you
I'm
are. It's the
just
exact same
saying.
thing.
I'm just saying, Lou.
It's
I'm not
hard.
doing the same thing. I'm just saying
You're
what
doing
Lou
the
said.
exact same thing.
Lou said, I agree with Lou. Lou said that
I
you.
know agents and players do this kind of thing.
Right.
I'm
I mean,
telling you, in this
he's
situation,
trying to create a market.
I do not
and
believe that's the case.
It's hard for me to believe that the Jets would promise him something like that because
Are you kidding me? They do
to-
that all the time in New York.
to promise him a trade when they
Bradley
weren't real
Chubb.
comfortable with what
He was
being.
begging them to take the Chiefs offer.
Well,
Begging
maybe
them. The
he
agent
was,
on the
but they didn't-
phone up
but they
until
didn't-
0 hour.
And that's
Well,
fine. But if the Chiefs didn't offer them what they liked, you're kind of between a rock and a hard space if you're the Jets GM. So
I don't. I listen.
it still has to
I
play.
see
It
all
still
your
has to.
points.
It still
I
has
see-
to.
Get back on the Chiefs.
It still has to play out, right?
see how
I
it
mean,
plays out.
they're saying all the right things. Hey, we want to keep him. If we can't get a long-term deal, we're going to put a tag on it.
Sounds like
Until it
Trent McDuffie
happens,
to me.
just like the one for Pitts, it didn't actually become a fact until earlier today or yesterday. It was reported that they were thinking about it, but they've actually done it. So until you see that from the team, it's hard to take what they say at any value outside of hey,
Hall
they're
is not
negotiating.
going
They're
nowhere.
negotiating.
The Jets know they got to build a lot of roster around there, or a lot of
Right.
pieces.
Yeah.
Why would you? add more holes to your deep offense.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a luxury pick. If they were to take Jeremiah Love at 2, that would be a luxury pick for a team that's not good at all to invest that high a pick in a running back when more than likely they're going to need somebody, somebody to rush the passer, somebody to replace Sauce. They've lost some players. Quinnen Williams, they traded him. So they got a lot of holes.
Nick just mad because it's shirt leaning. He just mad. He just mad. That's all he mad because he's mad because I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I agree.
You're the one who's got the big text chat.
I'm just saying. I agree with
bring it home, Hense. Go get Caleb Banks somewhere, Twitch or IG, and let's figure this out.
This Blake said something that was interesting to hear. Go ahead, Lou or Nick.
I hope we plan to target Boye Mafe or Jermaine Phillips in free agency. Would help a lot if one of them signed. Yeah,
the kid Mafia,
Jalen Phillips, right? I mean, I think that's who he's talking about. Boye Mafe, Minnesota guy, played for the Seahawks. They didn't extend him, so looks like he's going to be a free agent. But again, they've got some time to try to bring him back. But I think again, they've got other things they want to deal with. Seems like a pretty healthy rotation at the defensive line, so he may fall by the wayside. Young player. Supposedly the Chiefs were interested at the trade dedeadline, but we never know, right? Maybe again, that's the agent trying to create a market.
But speaking of Hall and everybody, and somebody, I think it was Pro Football Focus or somebody put this out there yesterday, and I'll say it's very interesting. The kid didn't even step a foot on the field. They got Jeremiah Love and they top 3 running back, even though he didn't step on the field yet. But I won't put him there at number 3 with the guy right in the league. I don't know, man. You got Jonathan Taylor at number 10. I'll probably put Jonathan Taylor at number 1. I just want to know what would you guys put these running backs if you had to put somebody somewhere?
What does it say under there? Because the older guys aren't in this list. So is there like an age?
Bijan Robinson, Jamari Green.
No. Under in the fine print, under where it says running back rankings, really fine print, because there's no Saquon.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Who came up with this?
Well, McCaffrey's in there. He's there at 6.
This says top 14 running back off-season ranking.
Okay, so that's no age thing, whatever. Okay,
so he's predicting where they're going to all be.
Yeah. So if you had to choose like Ben, what would you put this list? Dre, go ahead, Dre.
God, that seems ambitious.
This is all off the. Okay, listen. I'll put McCaffrey first.
Yep.
I'll put Chris McCaffrey first. Let's see. Jonathan Taylor second. I'll put James Cook third. I will put Kenneth Walker fourth. Shit, hell, man, we go all day with this shit, man. Look, listen, let's just go ahead and do my top 5, man. Hey, in that order.
Love maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'll do a top
off potential.
Yeah, it's hard to throw in a guy that hasn't played it
right.
Yet.
So he never replayed it down.
I read this morning, Lou. I want to all 3 of you guys can chime in, but I read this morning that the number 1 running back in college with light boxes, meaning that there weren't a lot of guys to the line of scrimmage. They were more worried about the pass, playing cover 2, prevent defense, et cetera, whatever it is. He was number 1 in all-purpose yards in college football with light boxes. So what if the boxes aren't light? If there is a focal point to stop the running game and stack the box instead.
What running back you talking about?
I'm talking about Jeremiah Love. I'm talking about your boy.
You didn't mention his name, so I didn't know.
Now, unless they gave you then that number in those times when they were, because I watched a lot of Notre Dame football. And he was the best player on the field in every game they played. Oh, yeah. So I'm assuming that the other defensive coaches were like, okay, if we stop that guy, we choke him.
I haven't watched enough film to see
because to me, they had good wide receivers. I mean, Malachi Field's probably going to be, I mean, hell, he may go late first round, I mean, second round pick, but it wasn't like they were feeding in the ball. I think he only had about 36 or 38 receptions.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
So it was Love carrying the ball a lot, Jadarian Price to a lesser degree, but I mean, again, I mean, it's just one of those what if. Well, that's what he faced. I mean, it's not like they can say, "Hey,
no, yeah, I'm not saying it was bad or good. I'm just saying that he knows what to do. You know,
it's not a matter of knows what to do. I mean, he's got the physical ability to be that guy that they have listed there at number 3. I think he has that ability to be like a Bijan Robinson or a Jahmyr Gibbs, guys like that, McCaffrey to some degree. Now, again, I don't think you can rank them up there because we've seen what these guys have done in NFL games.
Right.
It's all potential. So I would no way put a guy that hasn't played it down in the NFL in a top 5, you know, unless the rest of the running backs.
You just can't do it because that don't even make sense. Right. You can't rank because they never stepped foot in the NFL. So you can't even put them on the list.
Well, I mean, if you're just based on potential, if he gets with the Chiefs, I think maybe again, I'm just assuming this. I'm guessing, hey, if he was on the Chiefs, this is where he would rank. Now, maybe on another team it would be different, but I mean, you know how much I love Bijan Robinson, so I'm good with him being at the top of the list.
Sure.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs, again, given the more opportunities he gets, the more his numbers explode.
Yeah.
I know I like Jeremiah Love, but the top of the list it had to be Jonathan Taylor or Cook for me. I know I beat John Robinson is there, but Jonathan Taylor was having a heck of a year. You know what I mean, with the Indianapolis Colts until they lost their quarterback, you know, then they had to switch up the main target of the game. And James Cook, man, that's Charles 2.0. You know, Jamal Charles 2.0. I love if the Bills just someday wake up and say, hit the panic button and just release him, and he's just a free agent.
He's gonna have a monster season.
They did extend him, so he got a decent deal. Not
a great deal.
Not like McCaffrey or not like Saquon or any of those guys, which is a little surprising. But he chose to stay. You know, he just liked playing in Buffalo because they could have really pressed that envelope if they wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys. So with that said, we got what. And they doing players interview today. The Chiefs have made with Ruben Banks, David Bailey.
all the edge guys that are now at the podium. I mean, obviously they meet with just about every team, but maybe they're being asked for specifics and so forth. Tell you what, tomorrow. Now some of these might be obvious, but there are some athletic freaks that are going to do some crazy stuff tomorrow, right? I think Sonny Styles is an amazing athlete. Now he plays linebacker, but that kid,
Michael Parsons,
he's probably going to get close to 40-inch vertical. He's probably going to broad jump over 11 feet. He might run in the 4.3s, maybe 4.4s would probably not 4.3s, but 4.4s. You know who to really look out for that everybody's kind of crapped on because he had such a shitty year is Peter Woods. Peter Woods I believe, is going to have a great workout.
If you have a shitty year, bro, you can do all the good shit in combine you want to, bro. It still ain't gonna make deadly shit.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying that these are guys to look for to have like just super freaky stuff because that's who they are. I think Kenyon Sadiq. He could certainly run in the 4.3s. Now, again, he's a smaller tight end, but if he runs in the 4.3s, again, that's going to turn people's heads and say, okay, we might want to look at him a little bit differently now.
He's a good playmaker at tight end.
Arvell Reese from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, and there'll be others, but those guys, I mean, just as far as tomorrow goes, because you got the edge guys, the downline, the tackles, and the linebackers.
I'm trying to tell y'all, everybody's gonna be blown away by RMT. I'm just saying, R. Mason Thomas. Everybody's gonna see that tomorrow and say, "Oh, this kid from Oklahoma is out here just balling fast, the drills, everything." So watch what you see. And Zion Young.
Zion.
I got to keep remembering Dre's son's name.
Zion.
Young. Yeah. So
if you look at all the defensive linemen, bro, if they can run a 4-3 or 4-4, their stock gonna go up because they're linemen. Like I said, it's all about getting pressure and getting the quarterback off their marks. So yes, those gonna be the guys to look at. Everybody else, like all the like cornerbacks and receivers and shit, really don't make a damn difference.
Yeah, I don't know if if it's gonna really anybody's stock is going to rise because of that. But I'm just saying those guys are just very athletic and they do like freaky stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, if I would imagine that's part of the reason that if you're into watching the combine, that's what you want to see is just some really incredible stuff.
Yeah, so some. Right. Also the gauntlet, you know what I'm saying? Wide receiver gauntlet is my shit. So catch that damn ball.
That's Saturday.
We'll be able to talk about the wide receivers on Monday.
That's where the money's at right there.
Yeah, I agree. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Chiefs Blitz podcast. I want to thank Lou, Andre, and Hense for joining us. Of course, the Blitzers, Blake, Joe, Kenny, everybody else on there, Demetrio. We appreciate you coming on. We'll be back Friday. We'll call it Freaky Friday. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure there'll be some major Chiefs news by the time we air at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I am predicting it right here, right now.
We'll see, Nick.
All right, guys. Take care.
Every victory we slay. Chiefs Blitz podcast where the real fans unite. Every touchdown score, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate. We love our Chiefs, yeah, it's never too late.